Georgetown looks like the perfect Austin area escape. Beautiful downtown, newer homes, quieter streets. But here's the reality most people don't realize until after they move. You may have traded Austin energy for small town rhythm. And depending on what stage of life you're in, that's either going to be exactly what you want or the reason some people end up moving away again. Hey, if you're new here, my name is Sean Tips. I run a small real estate team here in the Austin metro area, and I help people figure out where they actually fit in the Austin area, not just where the marketing says they should move. And today I'm going to be walking you through the real reality of Georgetown, Texas. Because a lot of people move to Georgetown, they're getting Austin with a little more space, and honestly, that's not what it is here. Georgetown is its own thing entirely, and if you understand that going in, you'll probably love it here. Let's start with the obvious. Georgetown is one of the most charming towns near Austin, Texas. No question, the historic square is one of the best in Central Texas. You've got a local coffee shops, boutiques, old limestone buildings, live music, community events. It feels slower in a good way. People walk downtown, people know each other, and the small town charm is a huge reason people move here. But there's an important part. That charm also sets the tone for your lifestyle because Georgetown moves slower than Austin. For some people that feels peaceful, for others it can feel a little too quiet after a while. Georgetown isn't staying small. It's actually one of the fastest growing cities in America. Population has exploded past 100,000 people, growing more than 50% since 2020 alone. Over 12,000 new residents moved here just last year. And you can see the growth everywhere, especially on the northwest side near Ronald Reagan Boulevard and Highway 195. New master plan communities are going up constantly. Thousands of additional homes are already planned. The city is widening major roads, expanding infrastructure, and even planning new wastewater treatment plant to keep up with the demand. There's industrial growth happening too, including a major Pentagon manufacturing facility coming in the next few years. So while Georgetown feels slower, it definitely not standing still. This is probably the biggest surprise for people moving here. On the map, Georgetown doesn't look that far from Austin, but in real life, it can feel like a completely different city entirely. And with all that growth, traffic is becoming a bigger conversation every year. Because if you're driving into Austin regularly downtown, the Domain, or even down to South Austin, that commute adds up very fast. Eventually you stop casually going into Austin. Dinner plans become, do we really want to make that drive? And your lifestyle slowly starts centering around Georgetown instead, which isn't bad, but it's completely different. Now let's talk about why so many people move here in the first place. Value, because compared to Austin, Georgetown gives you a lot more house for your money. The median home price in Austin, $565,500 compared to Georgetown at $450,000. You get bigger homes, new communities, larger lots. People move here and suddenly they can afford a home office, a backyard, a game room, maybe even a pool. And if your priority is space and value, Georgetown becomes really attractive really fast. But remember, you're not just buying a house, you're buying a lifestyle. This is where expectations matter because Georgetown is not trying to compare with Austin's energy. You're not bouncing around 10 new restaurants every weekend here. You're not constantly surrounded by nightlife, events, and chaos. Life becomes more routine-based, more local, more predictable, and honestly, that's exactly why people love it here. Less stress, less noise, more breathing room. You settle into your rhythm here. Your favorite coffee shop, your favorite Mexican restaurant, neighborhood routines, community events. It's just simpler, not worse, just different. Now, this one right here is the biggest reasons that people stay long-term. The community feel. Georgetown is a much tighter-knit vibe than a lot of Austin suburbs. Families get connected through schools, sports. Neighbors actually know each other and their names. And Georgetown also attracts a large retiree population. About 27% of residents are 65 and older, which gives the city a very established, rooted feel. Unlike parts of Austin that can feel temporary, Georgetown feels like a place people settle into, and for many people, that sense of belonging becomes more valuable than nightlife and convenience for sure. So who is Georgetown actually perfect for? Families do really well here. Remote workers do really well here. People wanting a slower pace of life usually love it here. People looking for more house, less chaos, and stronger community tend to thrive in Georgetown. But if you're chasing city energy, constant entertainment, nightlife, or commuting into Austin every single day, Georgetown may feel farther away than you expect. And that's not criticism, it's just the reality of the trade. If you're thinking about moving to Georgetown or anywhere in the Austin metro area, text to me, Georgetown. I'll help you figure out which neighborhoods actually fit for your commute, your lifestyle, and what you want your day-to-day life to feel like. Because choosing the right suburb around Austin is way more about lifestyle than people realize. I'll see you around town.